Welcome into Capper's Cave. I'm your host, Lorenzo de Costa. This is Free Pixin' on Capper's Cave, brought to you by Intellect Sports. We have college week 10 and NFL week 9 best bets. We are moving along this season. Slow it down, because I love it, and I'm sad when it ends. I am. But we're still doing good on the year. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We have the one, the only, Locksmith Larry, or Larry the Locksmith, whichever you prefer, our SEC connoisseur, but hasn't been much lately. You've been picking other stuff, haven't you, man? Yeah, I don't even know where you're going today.
Yeah, man, I don't know, man. Yeah, the SEC, man, it's been tough, and, my dog's number one, so I'm doing good. Still got that number one spot, and, oh, yeah, man, I got an NFL lock for yins this week, man.
Whoa, really? Be careful. Be careful with that word. Although, I suppose it is in your name, Locksmith. So I suppose you can say that. But when it comes to sports betting, and in the NFL especially, locks don't actually exist. They don't. If they did, every square better and would be a sharp, and every sharp would hit at a much higher rate than 55 or 60% clip. That's what it takes to do for a living. Do note, we're sitting around the 64 mark, so above average, we can say. And we's going to keep slaying. That's what we do here. That's what we do.
Yeah, man, I know, I'm just having fun with it. I looked on the board, and I found a bet that I liked so much that I had to call it a lock, man.
Fair enough. So listen in for Locksmith's bet and the NFL. You said NFL. Okay, good. Well, let's jump into some news, notes, and complaints in the NFL and some college football, and then we will get into our picks. A lot of action this week. You got the Maction going on Tuesday, Wednesday nights. A lot of good stuff. NHL. MLB's over. I feel like nobody talked about it on any sports channel about the Braves winning the World Series. I know this is the college pro football show, but I just want to mention that. I feel bad. Was it not that exciting? Did they not get the ratings? They must not. I feel like all they talked about was football and maybe even soccer the next day on most sports channels. So I think you are probably a Braves fan, so congratulations to you, Locksmith.
Yeah, man, thank you, man. The Braves, man, finally did it. But I hear you, man. I guess it was exciting for me, but, they just stopped Houston. And everybody wanted Houston to lose, but I don't think anybody wanted to see us in there either, man. So, whatever, man, win. I'll take it.
Yeah, and you can have, the state of Georgia could have two national champions this year. We shall see if your dogs can keep rolling. But let's get into the NFL news, notes, and complaints. I just want to say, who the fuck is Mike White? The New York Jets. They had such little faith in him, did they not? They made a baffling trade to get Joe Flacco when Zach Wilson got injured. Now he's ruled out for, 2 to 4 weeks? Maybe Jets, and this just goes along with how your program's been over the last several years. Did you maybe you should have watched this Mike White guy in a start, or maybe you even watched him at practice? Do you not? Does this guy just sit around? He threw for the most yards of any Jets quarterback since Vinny Testaverde in 2000. 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, 34-31 upset of Cincinnati. This, we bet on it, but, I just think this changes so much. Or does it? I don't know. I'd like to see more play from him first. But nice win for us on the Jets, but we probably would have went the other way knowing that he was in. Really, just like them, I know nothing about them. They don't. They really don't. Okay, so Brady loses to Trevor Siemian. I think this is great. Please start to trend that way and show your age. his dying age with a nice pick six to end the game, Brady. Just call it a year. No, he probably won't. Even though he's probably got some of the best stats in for the quarterbacks this year. So I won't talk shit because then he ends up just doing more damage, as he always does. But great to see Trevor out there. I feel the Saints just got so many damn quarterbacks, but they don't need it. They got a great D, but we'll talk about that. We may have a pick on that. Speaking of, stay with the NFC here. Rodgers endorses Bitcoin, and he receives COVID in return. Very nice. Very nice. Even though you're on my fucking fantasy team, I'm sure a lot of you have them. And he lied to everybody, telling them that he had. That's even worse. You know, do what you want. We're not going to get into politics here and if you have the vaccine or not, but don't lie about it. Don't tell anybody that you're judging other people or that you're not going to judge other people that don't get it. Oh, man. It's just a mess. Rodgers, after starting the year the way you guys have and even before the year started, all this controversy over he's going to play or not, it sucks. Now you go up against the Chiefs at a pick'em. Well, we bought it when we first heard, but most sports books cut it off. But now it's already up to 7 points and maybe worth a buy. Well, we may have a pick or a betting nugget on it. Bye week struggles. This seems to be trending in the NFL right now. Teams that have seemed to come out, they've been coming out flat in the first half of games and in the full game and not covering. It might be wise to start picking that first half. And and then you guys got the Raiders, guys like Ruggs off a bye week. Yeah, having a little too much fun. Maybe we have a pick. After we've been cursing the Raiders last week, maybe we have a pick on them or against them. We might. Poor Wentz. Wentz, is this his MO in big games? I mean, he looks like a damn rookie out there when it's all on the line. I don't know about this guy. I don't. Now you face Mike White in the Jets this Thursday. Yeah, fucking Mike White. I like it. It's just such a basic name. This guy. Oh, poor Goff. Hitting the lines. Is it possible they get to 0-17? Huh? The Lions, they had a winnable game Sunday. The Eagles, they're not very good, but they're better than the Lions and beat them 44-6. Oh, it's such an embarrassing loss. I think it was summed up kind of in one play on a 4th and 11, down 24-0. Goff threw the ball away. Yeah, you read that right. The boos at Ford Field were unmistakable, as they should be. I think we stay away from bets on these boys right now. I liked them early, but now they suck ass. Oh, the Lions were the first team to go 0-16, and that was 2008. It's possible they'll be the first to go 0-17. They only covered 7 games this year. That year, the 0-16. And the last 3, they only covered. I mean, they covered the last 3 or 4, so we can just close those out as probably just shit games. Garbage TDs. Doesn't look good. Does not look good for them at the remaining games. Listen to this. Okay, so they get a bye. Then they got Steelers, Browns, Bears, Vikings, Broncos, Cardinals, Falcons, Seahawks, Packers, Falcons. Like that maybe one winnable game if it's not the Falcons or Bears, but we can both say those teams are definitely above what they have. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad for the city. I feel bad for.
We're not Detroit.
Yeah. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Oh, and what did I tell you about Herbert? What the hell did I tell you folks about Herbert? Don't buy into that MVP bullshit sophomore slump. It's true. The Patriots just bothered the shit out of him and that Chargers offense. Just like they did last season. And a 45-0 0 wins. So maybe it's a Belichick thing. I don't know. But suddenly the Chargers, who looked impressive early in the season, they're looking very beatable. Very beatable. Brownies, 4-4 on the season. Did anyone expect that midway through? I feel bad. They can't buy a break. They played an average Pitt team without a kicker. Yeah. Although I was thinking about this the other day. When I was watching the game, I do like the play without the kicker. I think you win more games without one. I mean, fucking go for it all the time. In fact, maybe do some sort of penalty kicker box. You know, like they have to sit for a quarter if the team has too many penalties. We can shake things up here. I mean, this may help with all the freaking holding calls and everything on the field. Maybe, you charge teams for so many penalties. Put them in the kicker penalty box. What are you looking at me like that?
Man, this ain't damn hockey. What do you want them to start fighting and shit on the field?
Absolutely. Like just hire one guy like the hockey does for that. Each team let them duke it out like a professional MMA fighter or some karate guy. I don't care. Or maybe let the kickers go at it. That would be hilarious. Now, keep the kickers on the field. Maybe, whatever. If you want to add some flavor, you can do that, but probably not. All right, Panthers. I want to get in. I know they're not a big talk of the town, but they just picked up a nice Gilmore trade and made his first big play. Got an interception with a minute 52 left. Pretty much sealed the game for him. Picked off Matt Ryan. I think he's going to be a big part of this defense. It's watch out for the sneaky Panthers team if Darnold can start playing better. Because now they get McCaffrey back. They do have to go up against these Patriots that everybody's talking about. Again, they're going to be great. They're going to be great. Mac Jones, he's good. But, we'll see. We'll see. Do we have a play? I don't know. We might have a quick betting nugget, okay? All right, let's get into the college football news, notes, and complaints. Can Michigan State, can they keep rolling after that Michigan win? That was an exciting game to watch. If you watch that Saturday during the day, great game. And we had it. We didn't have the under, which was one of our predictions. We won't talk about that, but just an exciting game, though. Exciting game. But we did have Michigan State. We're going to talk success rate in this game versus Purdue that Michigan State has coming up. And how can that kind of assist you with your betting? Say it's called SR, success rate, obviously. Let's just say a successful play if a team gains, say, 50% of the yards needed to move the chains on first downs. They're successful if they have 70% of yards to gain on second down. And also 100% of yards to gain on third or fourth down. So if they hit those percentages, it helps the succession rate and so on. Okay, so just like in this game, well, we'll get into that game. But it looks like in this game, both 91% of the spread picks and 94% of the spread handle are on the road favorites Purdue as of Wednesday, as of yesterday. So I know it's always tough to follow that, but we may have a play on that. In this game, I just think it's representing the probably the most lopsided handle of the college football slate this week. College football playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs?
I mean, we will. Cincy, poor Cincy, just snubbed from the CFP committee. Wow. I mean, they haven't been covering and lost us bets. So, you know what? Well deserved. Well deserved, Cincy. Told you, shitbags and nasty natty, you need to win big or it's a no-show in the playoffs. You got to win big, cover. You got to cover more than the number because that's what they're looking at. And they don't have many good teams that they have to play next. So they could get ousted with an undefeated record because they're not beating the shit out of teams, too. Number 6. I mean, ouch. And again, no play this week against Tulsa, since they can't put it together against shit teams. They can't. All right, does Coastal Carolina? I know we say this team a lot on here, but do they stay on our ticket this week? As we are heavily invested, it seems like, every week with them or against them. So are they still a long-term investment after 2 ATS losses? Maybe. Maybe a play. Can the Buckeyes stay hot and jump into the playoffs this week? Listen in and get our bets. I don't even know what we're doing here. I don't even know. But let's get into it. We got a Thursday night for you? No, we got a Friday night. Virginia Tech Hokies versus Boston College Eagles. No, we're not going to go that way. Boston College getting 2.5 points over under at 46.5. This is the Friday 7:30. Listen, Boston College, I love this team at the beginning of the year, but trending downhill. And when I say downhill, I mean the bottom of the fucking hill. And it's a steep hill. Now down to their third-string quarterback. Even if Jerkovic replacement is in, Moorhead, this might be a good thing for us. I mean, Grosso could start, but either hasn't been a viable option. They haven't put up more than 14 points since September 25th against Mizzou's weak freaking defense. Virginia Tech is 4th in the ACC Coastal, 1 game back of the Pittsburgh Panthers, and BC is sitting at the bottom of the Atlantic Division, as we've talked about. Listen, Virginia Tech, they're not playing it doing special. They played some decent ball. They've lost the last 3 of 4, but they've been competitive. Won the last game against a decent Georgia Tech team. Lost to Cuse by 1 possession. Notre Dame by 3. So we can see some positives here. Absolutely. And listen, the home-away trends support Boston College, which is 6-2 ATS in their last 8 games at home, while Virginia Tech is 2-7 ATS in their last 9 games on the road. However, 3 points is not that much to cover here. I mean, Virginia Tech has scored 62 total points over their last 2 contests. And against tougher foes, too. Listen, I know the Hokies, they've been hit or miss this season, and they're not really particularly great at anything. But they're physical, and they're physical in the trenches, and they usually win games when they're supposed to. I'm going to side with the low points here, under a field goal, with the team heading in the more positive direction. So lock it up. VT -2.5. Ohio State. Ohio State going into the Cornhuskers of Nebraska. Nebraska getting 2 touchdowns and a half. Not a half a touchdown, half a point. 14.5. Over-under sitting at 64.5. This is Saturday at 12 o'clock. I think it's a nice buy here with the Bucks. Last Saturday, no cover. I mean, it was push. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It wasn't even a push. But, yeah, they didn't cover. So, it's a good buy here. I wasn't convinced on this team. I don't know why. Maybe it's just a bias on my team that I don't want to push towards them yet. And now I am after last week. I think they needed this competition. I mean, now the odds have them pegged deep, and everyone's catching on now. I think they'll have to make up to get bettors back on the Bucks with a lower spread. That's what they do. I think they're quietly getting better every week and staying out of a lot of conversations with Michigan State, absorbing the majority here. This team, if you don't know this, listen. Number 1 in total yards per game. Number 1 in points per game. 6th in pass. 31st in rush. You just can't deny these numbers. These boys are going to put up points. And the fact that they usually dominate Nebraska, home, away, it doesn't fucking matter. They're 6-1 ATS in this matchup with an average ATS margin of 21 points. That's large. ATS margin. That's how much the average over of what they're supposed to. 21. 3 touchdowns. I think we're safe here. 6-1 SU. Last SU win for Nebraska against Ohio State was in 2011. Safe to say, no win here. And safe to say points will be tough to match here with Ohio State averaging more than 20 points per game than Nebraska is. I just there's no really reason why we shouldn't we shouldn't expect a blowout here in the favor of the Buckeyes. Nebraska doesn't have the horses to keep up with them. They rank like 94th in turnover margin, while the Buckeyes rank 9th. That's a recipe for disaster. With the way Martinez loves to turn the ball over, you've seen it. I think they're going to. Ohio State takes advantage of the statistical and physical matchup. Or, I'm sorry, physical, we'll say mismatch. They're going to have great field position, favorable scoring chances, and the talent differential. I mean, Ohio State has produced 18 NFL first-round draft picks since 2011. Nebraska has had one. I think they have this game sealed away by the end of the third quarter, if not by halftime. Take the Buckeyes minus 14 before she blows up. Here it is. Coastal Carolina at Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern getting 20 points over under at 60.5. This is Saturday at 6 p.m. We're going to go to where we're pretty much undefeated this year with this team. We went against them the last 2 weeks. Yep, the Champs. A team we talk about all year long. You would think we're like alums or something, but we're not. It's just one of those teams. It's one of those teams that we have their number. And we like the number this week. Under 3 TDs. Listen, Coastal has had a little rough patch. Just ATS, though. And it was probably the thick of their schedule. Playing at App, and then Troy. They beat Troy. They only lost to App by a couple points. Now back on track after that close loss to App. Now we had a Georgia Southern team that has had some trouble scoring. And when I say trouble, I mean they just straight up suck. Just lost to in-state rival Georgia State. Put up 14 on them. USA, Southern Alabama, 14 points. 10 on Arkansas. And we could say Coastal Carolina is better than Arkansas and pretty much everyone on their schedule. Almost lost to FBS Weber early in the season. And they usually don't bring up early in the season now, but they seem to play the same way all year long. And now they probably have the most potent offense in the league against one of the worst defenses in the league. Simple. Number 6 in total yards versus number 126 in yards against. And then you have number 3 in points scored versus number 110 in points against. Even if the freaking offense sucks, their offense sucks as well. Defense sucks. Offense sucks. Ranks in the hundreds. Get these quarterback numbers. Get these. Grayson McCall. We talked about him before. Quarterback. Coastal Carolina. He's got over 2,000 yards passing. Just over. 2063 or something. 257 per game. And 116, 158 passing. Pretty good numbers. 17 touchdowns compared to 2 interceptions this season. He also adds in 135 rushing yards, 54 carries, while scoring 3 touchdowns on the ground. Justin Tomlin of Georgia Southern has a total of 499. I'm not even going to say 500. 499 passing yards. 124 per game. 42 of 82. That's like 50 fucking percent. With 0 touchdowns passing compared to 5 INTs. That's this season. That's horrible. I mean, what the fuck? Why is this guy still playing? How do you keep him on the field? I imagine they're going to try a few people out. But if this guy's in, I mean, I'll take it. I'm not going to go much further here. We just get this team. And it's well under our numbers that we have. And it should be close to 30-point game. Chance are 8-1 ATS in their last 10 games on grass. They're 4-1 in their last 6 games in November. 4-1 ATS in the last 5 road games versus the team with a losing home record. So, lock it up. Chance, minus 20. Remember, that is the Friday game, so get your tickets quick. Get them quick, because I wouldn't. I would much rather have it under 21 points. Faux show. Faux show. All right, another Big Ten game of the week, and Michigan steals the attention again for the another big game here, and they're going up against Purdue, number 3 Michigan State. Excuse me, at Purdue. Purdue getting 3 points, over under at 54. This is the Saturday 3:30 slate. Okay. This is the game we want to talk SR, success rate. I think we don't have an officially a play here, but a lean on Purdue. So let's dig in. This Heisman contender, you know, you've heard of him now, Kenneth Walker, the third, looked great against Michigan in Week 9. He helped the Spartans overcome 16-point second-half deficit. This Tucker squad is outgained in yards per play, though, okay? The same occurred against Nebraska in Week 4 and nearly did it again in a tight road win at Indiana, 3.9 to 3.7. That's yards per carry. I'm sorry, yards per play. Now, what does this say? Well, I think it says Michigan State isn't as dominant as that 8-0 record appears. They lean on Walker. And great. He's generating a top 50 rushing rate across college football. But the Boilermakers have a unit to combust, I think, that engine on a different level. They're allowing the 16th lowest rushing success rate in D1, aiding to their number 10 overall ranking in that department. They're also they're elite on forcing opponents off the field on 3rd and 4th downs, respectively. And Michigan State's their passing attack, I think, could be limited with its top receiver, Jalen Naylor, potentially out. So keep an eye on that, too. Sparty's defense ranks number 52 on the success rate. And this is due in large because of their inconsistent secondary play. Purdue's signal caller, Adrian O'Connell, he isn't delivering an abundance of explosive plays. He isn't, especially through the air. 7 yards per attempt. But he's one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the country. He is. I think he'll have his opportunities to potentially pick apart this back 7 of Michigan State. On top of that, Purdue, they're notorious for a methodical approach while winding down the play clock, which it correlates to keeping the opposing offense off the field. Now, that doesn't necessarily show up in plays per game, as Purdue does rank number 13th in that category. Michigan State's in the bottom 30. Nevertheless, that's a product of Walker and company with a explosive offense. Again, no play here, just some nuggets. And wanted to talk success rate, but we do like the hook here on Purdue. If we can get it at 3.5, find it, or might be out there, or buy it up. Maybe a tease. Maybe like it anymore. All right, Locksmith, I believe you are up on, so where are you going? Where are you going? The SEC, you've been doing ACC, but then you started losing ACC. I'm very curious to where you're going.
Nah, man, I'm going to take a shot at the Big 12, man. I'm going to go Okie State going into West Virginia. West Virginia getting 3.5 points, over under at 49. This is Saturday, 3:30. Listen, I think it's a nice setup for these Mountaineers at home, man. They's 3-1 at home, and then now they get to go up to number 11. They get to go up against number 11 Okie State. I think they should be highly motivated, and now they can still stay in the race for the Big 12 conference championship. Even though, yeah, they're only sitting at like 4 wins, but they can stay in the race still. And Okie State, man, their brand for years, it was all about the offense, fun style, ton of explosion. I think this one's more about keeping everyone in check, man. And that's all good and stuff. I mean, you're gonna get some wins, but that ain't gonna get you shit in college football, man, towards the end of the season. Now, on the other hand, West Virginia kind of does the same shit, but I'd say they're a little better at controlling the games. The Cowboys can rely on their defense, but I think that goes hand in hand with an offense that doesn't take a whole lot of big chances on anything. I mean, the big pass plays are there, but this isn't Oklahoma State's offense that's going to throw for 500 yards and 55 points against anybody but maybe Kansas. And this West Virginia team, they can play a little defense too, man. And, it's great they're good at getting into the backfield. And Okie State, man, they got some issues allowing tackles for loss, man. If you notice, you look at the numbers, man, they losing numbers, man. And it's also great. They're also great coming up with the third down stops, man, and especially at home when that crowd gets loud, man. And this QB, Jared Doge, man, or Mr. Dogecoin, maybe maybe you should talk to Rodgers about that crypto shit, man. But anyways, he's on a nice roll, man. Beating Iowa State with 370 yards and 3 scores. Man, I just think he's doing a better job of making things happen down the field right now. And this third string, this is the third straight road game for Okie State, man. That's tough. It's gonna be tough to go in them cold mountains of West Virginia and pull one off, man. Again, listen, it's about control, man. Oklahoma State wants to do it with its defense, but West Virginia leads the Big 12 in time of possession, and that's for a reason, man.
Yeah, very nice. I do like to switch on conferences. We don't seem to do many Big 12 plays, and I feel you're feared to the SEC due to your dog's ranking right now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe I just don't want to jinx them, or I just don't want anybody to win in that damn division, anyways. Besides my dog, so I really don't know, man. But I've been doing good on the year, man. Doing with different conferences.
Yeah, you do. So we'll let you stretch things out. But you can still bet on the games. I know you know these teams well. Anyways, nice pick, nice analysis, and I will lock it up for you. Let's get into the NFL, and then we'll go over our picks, and then some betting nuggets and quick picks. Atlanta at New Orleans. New Orleans sitting at 5.5 over and at 42. This is Sunday at 1 o'clock. No, we're not going that way. Sorry, Atlanta. We're not going that way. Listen, this Atlanta team, this offense, they've shown out in the past few weeks, but against some bottom-of-the-barrel defenses. Excuse me. But that isn't the Saints. Saints defense ranks 10th in yards per play and total and third down and third in total DVOA. Listen, Atlanta's lack of early down success on offense and the lack of weapons without Calvin Ridley, and now we can say rookie tight end Pitts. But other than that, it's a serious problem, especially against this group. And Atlanta just has no run game. They have no chance to run the ball against probably the best defense in football. Number 1 in yards per play allowed. That was in total DVA, but now, I'm sorry, rushing. And now they're going to be one-dimensional against New Orleans. This is a recipe for disaster. No disrespect to Jameis Winston, but the game plan doesn't change with Trevor Siemian. It doesn't. Expect the Saints to keep leaning on Alvin Kamara, which I think just opens the door for Siemian to be relaxed like he was last game. It gives them a little bit of time to make some plays, and they got a good offensive line. Listen, this offense is number 7 in the red zone. Well, the defense is first in the league at denying touchdowns. So count on the red zone plays here, for and against. I think they're just going to capitalize on they're on allowing other teams to do the same thing. If that makes any sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But fucking take the Saints is what ultimately I'm trying to say. -5.5. Lock it up. The Cleveland Brownies. Where are they going? Oh, they're staying in states. In-state rivals, Cincinnati Bengals. -3. Over-under sitting at 47. This is Sunday, 1 o'clock. Well, Cincinnati owned Pittsburgh, and the Steelers just beat the Browns in Cleveland. Doesn't that mean the Bengals should beat the Browns at home in Week 9? No. If only the NFL worked that way, we'd make a bunch of money each week. In what may look like a fool's errand, we're siding with the Browns and a full field goal or more, maybe. Don't be fooled by the news of Beckham with the team. Who cares? This maybe send the line in our favor. The Browns almost made the AFC Championship without him. Don't need him. Not good anymore. What do you have, like one sweet catch in his life and now he's done? Oh. No, he'll go somewhere. Probably with a good bargain for someone, not him, but he's just trash lately. Just trash. I mean, maybe he jumped on the wrong team because they just went with a run-heavy offense. Heading into Week 8, the Bengals defense was a top 10 unit, ranking 4th in yards per play. It had just dominated Baltimore, but frankly got embarrassed a little bit by the Jets and Mr. Mike White, even if it was only a 3-point loss. I just think we're not quite sure which one of those performances this team is actually closer to than it makes. I think they're just tough to trust right now. Inconsistent. I think with the bye week approaching for Cincy, we're not going to see any adjustments on defense. We're going to wait for the bye week on that. We don't think this group is nearly as good as the one the Browns had just faced. And now you add a pissed off Browns off a loss from rival Pitt. I mean, Baker does do some good in the pocket with some protection. And the Browns offensive line is second in the pass run win rate. Well, the Bengals are a team that doesn't like to blitz. And they just gave Mike White enough time to throw for 414 yards on him. So let me say that again, Mike White, 414 yards. I think Baker's going to have a great day. And I'll take him plus the points. Moving on. Let's go out to San Francisco treats. Arizona going into San Fran. San Fran getting 1 point at home. Over under at 46. Sunday at 425. All right, so collapsing down the stretch against the Packers, may have seemed to cause some significant dent in Arizona's stock for odds makers. This shouldn't be a pick'em game with the Cardinals bringing the league's second-rated defense and fourth-rated pass offense. The Niners rank 22nd in pass defense and yield the 6th most rushing yards at 127 per game. That's a lot in NFL. They just struggled to contain Justin Fields, who was a sitting duck most of his previous starts. But how are they going to handle a guy like Kyler Murray? They won't. Excuse me. San Francisco has given up a league-high 35.6 rushing yards per game with 4 rushing TDs allowed to quarterbacks. That's a quarterback number. 35.6 rushing yards per game for quarterbacks. And Murray also, he completed 71% of his passes. And I think it was a conservative effort last time to beat the Niners last month. He compiled 261 rushing yards with 2 rushing scores over his previous 4 meetings with San Francisco. The Cardinals are on 3 extra days of rest, which I think is going to be crucial for DeAndre Hopkins to get back from his hamstring injury. I think he gets back to full speed almost. He's averaging 9.3 receptions, 95.3 yards per game over the 3 meetings with San Francisco since joining the Cardinals. It's a good foe he likes to go up against. Cardinals 4-0 ATS in their last 4 road games, 5-1 ATS in their last 6 games overall, 20-7 ATS in their last 27 road games versus the team with the losing home record. Niners 1-6 ATS in their last 7 home games. Now, lock it up quick. It's only 1 point. Let's get into... Oh, is this the Locksmith Lock of the Week?
All right, man. I'm gonna go with the teaser in this one. 3 teams, 7 points added to each selection. Gonna get you plus 130 odds, man. So I'm taking the Cowboys minus 2.5, down from 9.5. Browns plus 10, up from 3, and the Rams minus 0.5, down from 7.5. Listen, I believe there's a reason to feel comfortable with all of them, man. Assuming that, of course, if Dak Prescott comes to play, which it looks like he is, I think the Cowboys are just 20 times better than Denver at home. They're 7-0 against the spread, and now they're giving 9 points. And I think they can cover that, but all we're asking is a field goal in this victory, man. So there's that one, and then the Rams, man, they're playing on Sunday night against Tennessee. A team that just lost Derrick Henry. Hot damn. I bet you feeling pretty good about your chances in the AFC playoffs.
I do. I don't want to ever wish injuries on anyone, but no Henry in the playoffs. We'll see how long he's out for. But the Bills should just breeze right through, huh?
Yeah, man. But so the Titans, man, they have several impressive wins in a row. And they appear to be improving on defense. But I think it's just a bad spot against L.A., man, in prime time. I mean, Henry he changes the entire dynamic of the offense. And I don't think the Titans are going to be able to keep up with them Rams, man. So I'm taking that one. And then now moving on to the Brownies. The Bengals, man, they just lost to the Jets. Yep, we're going to say it again, Mike White and them damn Jets. Just has me thinking double digits should be enough for the Browns, even on the road. I mean, this is a divisional game between 2 strong defenses, and Cleveland's getting healthier. And the Bengals' offense is liable, yes, to go off, but so is the Browns' running game, man, and their offense. So that's it, man. It's my 3-game tease. It's my lock of the week, man.
All right, a tease. We don't do many on this show. In fact, I like it. If this wins, Locksmith, do that shit every week. Yeah, give me a 3-game, 4-game teaser every week. Every week. All right, let's get into some quick picks. Yes, and betting nuggets. We love the nuggets. Fried chicken nuggets. We do. We love them. We got, and I hope you love them. We're going to start with college football. Pittsburgh Panthers at Duke Blue Devils. Blue Devils getting 21.5 points, over under 64.5. This is Saturday, 12 p.m. Pitt 62 ATS on the season, and they just dominate this matchup. 5-0 ATS SU last 5, and should continue here, as we can say this is probably the worst Duke team we've seen in the last 5 seasons. Also, probably the best Pitt team we've seen over the last 5 seasons. Panthers 5-0 ATS in the last 5 games as a road favorite. Blue Devils 1-8 in their last 9 conference games. They're also 0-7 ATS in their last 7 games after allowing more than 40 points in the previous. So that is Pitt Panthers minus 21.5. Big number, but we like it. Let's go to the SEC. Tennessee at number 18, Kentucky. Kentucky minus 1, over under at 56. Saturday at 7 p.m. I think this is an interesting contrast of styles here. Kentucky plays slow. Tennessee plays at the fastest pace of any team in the country right now. And so I think this mostly comes down to Kentucky staying on the field and making the most of its possessions. Conversely, though, the Vols need to find a way to stop the run. Kentucky is the better team, but I just have a feeling Tennessee will be coming off the bye week, and I think a new coach gets a signature win here early in his tenure. Tennessee, 28, Kentucky, 27. It's going to be a close one. And they win. They get 1 point, so they'll win by 2. So we'll take it. All right, let's go to ACC. Wake versus UNC. UNC -2. I'm pretty sure I'm 0-75 at this year picking North Carolina. So I'm going to finally learn my lesson and pick Wake Forest. That's it. I just don't trust the Demon Deacons defensively. But they can move the ball on anyone. And right now, a Tar Heel defense ranked 91st in the nation and allowing yards per play and getting gashed. I mean, I just think I'm going to trust Sam Hartman. I think he outduels Sam Howell, and the Wake Forest keeps rolling. So, yeah, we're going to go with that one. +2, Wake Forest. Let's go to the NFL. Houston Texans at Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins sitting at 6.5. Ultimately, this game is a stay away. There's really no statistic out there that tells you the Texans are worthy of your money. And we all saw Miami lose to the Jaguars in London. Tua does have Devonta Parker back. Or Devontae, whatever. And it does make a difference. But not a touchdown's worth. If you're going to do this and bet on it yourself, take the free points with Houston and the under with 2 slow offenses. Las Vegas Raiders at New York Giants. Giants getting 3 points. The Raiders are coming off a bye, and obviously they party too much. Too soon? Can not make jokes of that too soon? I mean, Ruggs, you're an idiot. It's called Uber. But I'm sure in order to take some hot lady home from the bar, your personality didn't do it, but your car would. Now you take the life of some woman, God rest in peace, just stupid. 127 miles per hour. He's got gun charges. I mean, who the fuck are you? Is this Batman rolling around? Anywho, as much as we've been bad with the Raiders, we like them here. New York is banged up on offense, can't run the ball. And Las Vegas has one of the better pass defenses in football and ranks in the top 10 in both early down success rate and third down conversion percentage. So we like them off the bye, even though they got shit going on. But sometimes teams step it up when something like this happens, just like they did with the coach. So just trending downhill, but they're still winning games. All right, I think that's it for you. Good luck to you this weekend. Lots of action. I'm your host, Lorenzo da Costa. This is Free Picks and Shit on Cappers Day, brought to you by Intellect Sports. And we're out.